What is up, Gemini? How y'all doing? It is bonus time. It's time for your May 2025 bonus reading. So what I'm looking for when I do bonus readings is details, situations, or scenarios that were missed, skipped over, or just for whatever reason did not make it into the first round of monthly readings. So, for those of you who are in need of a personal reading, you can find all the information on how to go about doing that in the description of this video. Also, remember to check out our handmade crystal jewelry. We have some more of that on my website as well, and we're going to keep that stocked as it sells. We got fucking plenty of it. Most of it's handmade by my wife and my daughter, some of it by myself. Oh yeah, and for those of you catching this on time, this is being recorded in the month of April. We got about another week, and my course on the steps to true healing is going bye-bye. I think that's a pretty damn important course. That's the main reason why I made it so cheap. That's some very important shit, dude. I don't know when I'm going to get the chance to break that back out again. So the link for that is in the description. And I think that's it. Yeah, okay. Let's hop into this. I want to start these off with general messages. General messages. So, career, finance, friends, family, anything but romance. What general messages do we have for Gemini in May, universe? Yeah, happy early birthday for the Geminis, too, by the way. What are the general messages for Gemini in May? Whoa. Hermit card just fell out right there. I don't know what to say about that yet. Hang on. Boom, 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 boom. Strength card reversed. Woo! Got that 10 of Pentacles. Okay. So, right now, I think a whole lot of you are still stuck right in the middle of a massive transformation. And that may annoy some of you to hear that because some of you have been stuck in it for a while. You know? Like maybe the last couple of years. I know that just kind of generally speaking, the last 2 years has been a big period of growth for a lot of us, myself included. And it's been rough. It hasn't been the easiest period over the past couple of years, you know? But that's about to see itself through, come full circle, and complete itself. And you got some massive blessings waiting for you on the horizon. Massive, massive, massive. So especially those of you who are really thinking about taking action towards doing something big, or maybe some of you who already have been taking action towards doing something big. For those of you who haven't taken action yet, you might want to start getting on that path and taking some action because there's blessings waiting for you on the horizon. It's waiting basically for you to become the version of yourself that's a vibrational match to those blessings, you know? So like for those of you who have been thinking about starting a business or doing something big, I'm telling you, you're about to enter into the chapter in your life where you're going to be stepping in and answering the call, your highest calling, playing the role of your highest calling. And that's right around the corner. Right around the corner. So you've been on a little solo trip for a while, some of you. You've either been on a solo trip or you just, for the most part, had a hard time connecting with a lot of people. Like even if you do have some friends or acquaintances, it just kind of, you're having a hard time connecting, you know? Any conversation may just be kind of surface level and you just don't really feel the deepest connection. It's been that way for a reason. Been that way for a very specific reason. Because you don't need to have anyone attached to you right now. Anyone attached to you right now will weigh you down like a fucking hot air balloon tied to a sandbag. So that's been that way for a reason. You've been feeling kind of isolated. Some of you even feel alone in a room full of people. And it's been that way for a reason. Because big old ass goddamn changes is coming right around the corner. Right around the corner. Okay, that was honestly a little too general for me, but I like to get a little bit more specific than that, but yeah, that's about all that wants to come through. So, all right, well, let's get some general advice. General advice. What general advice do we have for the Gemini family for May 2025? General advice. Five of Cups reversed. Sun card. Three of Swords reversed. There's that 10 of Pentacles again. Boy! Empress again, too. Well, the only thing that I'll say, for those of you who haven't really taken any kind of action yet, you might want to start thinking about taking some action towards something. Something. A lot of people stay stuck in one spot because they think they need to know the next step they need to take. No. All you got to do is start moving. And then the universe can take the wheel and start guiding you in the right direction. But you got to start moving first. Now, for those of you who have been taking action and just feeling lots of blockages, trust the process. If you're taking action and everywhere you step, there's a roadblock. Everything you try to do, the universe blocks you. It's because it's not time yet. Actually, honestly, I feel a little bit more comfortable when I've done everything I can possibly think to do, but no door will open. I feel more comfortable like that than I do when I'm just sitting back not doing nothing. Because when you're sitting back not doing nothing, you got that little voice in the back of your mind that's like, come on, take some action. You don't know what's out there waiting on you. You know, and you feel that guilt like, I got to be out there doing something, but I'm too scared or this or that. But once you get out there and exhaust every option available to you and no door will open, then I can sleep at night. Like, hey, I done knocked on every goddamn door the universe has around me right now, and nothing will open, so I trust that it's just not fucking time yet. I'm going to chill for a little bit. I'm going to just chill and be comfortable and wait until either A, that door opens, or B, I get bored and restless and I get up and start knocking again. $2025 is going to be filled with change. Fuck, it already has, dude. Gonna be's ass. It already has. Well, that ain't stopping anytime soon. And for y'all, trust me, next year this time, the majority of you are going to be looking around in a totally different life. Totally different. So, okay. Let's move on to the love portion. I want to see what's going on between Gemini and the new person. Gemini and the new person. Newest person you just recently connected with. What's happening in May? How's May looking? Gemini and the new person. Uh-oh, Four of Cups. Magician. Knight of Cups reversed. Okay, well, communication looks decent. Communication looks decent. Feelings are really starting to intensify between the two of you. Now, I have a feeling that a lot of you are going to think this sounds kind of funny. But this person actually has some insecurity issues. Deep down, I think that they kind of feel like you're a little bit out of their league. And I know a lot of you are like, what? Because they got King of Wands, King of Pentacles. That's a front. That's a front. Some of the most insecure people on the planet hide it really well. They hide it really well. Actually, I could be wrong on this, but I would feel safe betting that if you took every insecure person on the planet, the majority of them are hiding it. Those that let it show are the minority. There's way more insecure people out there hiding it than there are insecure people letting it spill over and show. So, yeah, this is a real strong connection here, though. Real strong. It's getting very, very heavy. But the problem is, I think this person feels a little bit, I almost want to say intimidated, but I don't know if I would use that word 100%. They do feel like you're out of their league, though. So I guess you could call that intimidated. But, yeah, they're afraid that you're going to wake up one day and see them as the loser that they see themselves to be and abandon them. Or go cheat on them, or go pick somebody else, you know? Why? Because that happened to them in the past. Of course. And they still have unhealed heartbreak from when that happened. Well, let's see what their deepest feelings, energies, and intentions are. Do they mean well? Do they really want to build something happy, healthy, and successful? Or are they just trying to play games? What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Sun reversed. Emperor reversed. Yeah. I think they're just kind of generally an unhappy and conflicted person in the deep down. Deep down. You know, they're bottling up a lot of shit that you know nothing about. You know nothing about. They haven't established a solid opinion as to if they're ready to settle down and commit just yet. However, I wouldn't call their intentions bad. That doesn't mean they're not going to do any shitty or bad things. It means they're not coming from a place of manipulation, dishonesty, taking advantage of you. They're not coming from that angle. But they are bottling up a lot of shit. A whole lot of shit. Could be an Aries for some of you. Also have Leo here. Okay. Well, let's get the advice for this. What's the advice for Gemini and the new person? Advice for Gemini and the new person. Ooh, King of Swords. Ooh, Ten of Swords. The Star card. King of Wands reversed. Well, Seven of Swords reversed. This is tricky. This is a sensitive situation here. And here's the tricky part. The trickiest part about bottling up your feelings, bottling up your insecurities, basically what you're doing is you're hiding a whole aspect of who you are. So in the long run, anybody you try to get to know isn't getting to know you for who you really are. And after a while, you can't keep that charade up forever. You know? The trick is getting this person to feel comfortable and safe and secure, knowing that you're not going to judge them for who they really are. But here's where it gets tricky. What if you actually don't like the person they really are? That's where it gets tricky. That's where it's a little slippery. That's what, honestly, that's one of the very few areas that I don't have a whole lot of advice for. I really don't. Because what can you do about that? You meet somebody and they're portraying themselves to be one person. You know, deep down, the person they're hiding from you is somebody you wouldn't really like. But how are you supposed to know that? They're not showing you that. And then they start letting their guard down and connecting with you at a deeper level, and you start realizing, oh, that's who you are? And you don't even really fucking like it. What do you do about that? What do you do about that? I think if I was to come up with any advice for that situation, it would be don't be afraid to walk away from something that doesn't feel right. Don't be afraid to do that. Man, that's just such a sensitive situation there. Such a sensitive situation. Because the feelings are getting pretty intense. Man, dude. I hate hanging on the edge of my seat like that. You know what? This may just be one of those types of situations that has to unfold the way it's going to unfold. No matter how it unfolds, there's not really a whole lot you can do to change the way the situation's going to play out. No matter how the situation plays out, there's going to be a very, very valuable learning experience behind it, I think. So other than common sense, the common sense, common human decency, fucking shit, other than that, there's not really a whole lot of advice for this situation. Not really. Unless you just want to back away from it because it doesn't feel right and you can tell you're not connected with them at the deepest level. I wish you luck on this one, man. I wish you luck. All right, well, let's shift gears now and see who the next person is coming in for the singles. Next person coming in for the single Geminis. What do we got? Ooh, 10 of Wands. Chariot reverse, 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups reversed. Emperor reversed again. What is going on with this, dude? What is going on with these cards? The same damn cards. So this person's very conflicted internally. They're very lonely and empty, but afraid of falling in love They want to be, it's like they want to be with somebody, but they're afraid of falling in love. Does that make sense? That makes sense. And why does a person find themselves in that emotional conundrum? Because they haven't healed from the last time they got fucked over. They want to be with somebody. They want to settle down and find their divine life partner. They want to be in a relationship. But they're so scared of falling in love. Actually, it's not falling in love that they're scared of. They're scared of that feeling when you fall in love with somebody and then you get betrayed. That's one of the most painful things that you can experience as a human. It's on that list. It's one of them. And that's what they're a little bit afraid of. That's what they're afraid of. So you might have a hard time connecting with this person. You might. Could be a Cancer for some of you. They don't really know what they want. I don't know. I'm just seeing mixed signals written all over this right here. Mixed signals, confusion, frustration, and then that eventually ends up leading to conflict. All right, well, let me just dig up their intentions at a deeper level and see, does it go any deeper than that? Is there more to this person than that? What do they really want with you? What are their intentions at the deepest level? Next person coming in for Gemini. Boom, 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 boom. Blue, blue, buddy, blue. 7 of Cups. Like I said, I think they're a little bit afraid of falling in love. They kind of want to keep their options open. This person's just extremely confused. They're extremely lost and confused. They don't know what the hell they want. I can't think of any better way to explain that. I want to settle down with my divine life partner, but I don't want to fall in love. I want to keep my options open, but what if I accidentally fall in love with somebody? I want to just go be alone and be single and not fuck with nobody, but I'm fucking lonely. I want somebody in my life. But what if I bring somebody in my life and I fall in love with them and they betray me again? This person's so confused, they don't know what they want. Having said that, though, what does that sound like at the deepest level? I mean the deepest level. You peel back every layer of trauma, PTSD, confusion. At the deepest level, they want to settle down with their divine life partner. If they didn't care to settle down, they wouldn't have any of those feelings at all. Okay. Well, I don't need a tarot spread to tell you how this energy is going to manifest if left unchecked. So let's just grab the advice. What's the advice for Gemini when the next person comes in? Again, I don't even want to put my 2 cents in on that. That could go in 2 different directions, possibly even more than that. What's the advice when the next person comes in for Gemini? 2 of Pentacles reversed. Boom, 2 of Wands. Ace of Swords. Okay, well, all I'm going to say is this. You want to have some boundaries and standards set. Now, when I say boundaries and standards, I'm not really referring to frivolous bullshit, like, how much money they make or what they do for a living, Put that shit down on the priority list. I'm talking about the energetic connection. Okay? The energetic connection. And see, whenever you connect with somebody like that, you can't fake it. You can't fake it. You're going to be so fucking confused. You're going to be so nervous. Because when you're not connected at that level, you can feel it. The most spiritually asleep fucking people on the planet can feel that shit. You know, when somebody's that lost and confused, you feel like something's off. Something feels wrong. You may not be able to put a finger on exactly what it is, but god damn it, you can feel that something's wrong there. And just don't sit around and put up with that shit forever. Okay? Don't do that. Now, you want to communicate your intentions. So if you have some concerns, you want to try to vocalize that and let it be known. You know, do the best you can to communicate your concerns and your confusion and whatnot, but don't sit around and wait for a confusing individual to stop being confusing. I would set some sort of time frame, a month, 2 months. I personally believe that it shouldn't take longer than a month for you to at least be clear on somebody's feelings and intentions. I'm not saying that you need to know them like the back of your damn hand, but you should know how they feel about you, and you should know what their intentions are. 2 months max, absolute max. After 2 months, if you're still confused about somebody's feelings and intentions, that's no good. That's no good. The likelihood that you're going to lay a foundation and build a successful life partnership with somebody that you're confused about how they feel about you after 2 months, I've never personally seen it happen. Personally. Now, that's not necessarily to say that it has never happened. And it's not necessarily to say that it can't happen. I've never witnessed that happen, though. Have you ever met a real, genuine pair of actual divine life partners? You ever met one of those couples? Most people I ask that question to say no, they have not. Because they are rare and hard to come by. But if you ever get a chance to meet one of those couples, or maybe if you perhaps know one, ask them to tell you the story about when they came together. It's fascinating. They all have a tiny little handful of things that they all have in common. Just a tiny little select few things that every pair of divine life partners will all say. You know what my all-time favorite is? I knew immediately that I can trust them. Immediately. And that's usually followed by, they're not even my type. That's another one that, actually, honestly, every pair of divine life partners I've ever met, they all say that too. They're not my type. They're not who I would normally go for. Now, I don't have time to dig that up and explain it, but that's duh. If your type was the type of person you needed in your life, you would have found your person a long fucking time ago, you know? But yeah, I knew immediately that I could trust them. They never made me question their loyalty. Ever. Ever. I never had a shred of doubt in my mind as to whether or not I could trust them. And that's one of those things that you can't explain it until you experience it. That's just one of them things, man. Because usually when you tell that to somebody, their first response is, well, that's bullshit. I thought I could trust the last person I was with, and they fucked me over. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, not until you actually meet somebody you can really trust. Until you feel and experience what that feels like, you won't realize that when you look back, you were never 100% sure if you could trust anybody you've ever dealt with. You can talk yourself into it, especially when you're a lot younger and more naive. It's easy to talk yourself into it. But in hindsight, after you feel what it feels like to connect with somebody you can trust 1,000%, you'll even look back at that person when you were so young, stupid, and naive, and you'll be able to point out the red flags. Oh man, see, yeah, I knew that I couldn't trust them, and I talked myself out of it. You know? Anyway, the point that I'm making is don't let that string on for too long. Do the best you can to work on it, making that connection, you know. But after a certain point, don't be afraid to voice your concerns. And when it all comes down to it, if you have to, back away from something that just does not fucking feel right. Okay? All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Gemini family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, the information for personal readings is right down there in the description, okay? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.